Take five. Hello, everyone. I want to say I don't hate everything about the president. People have said to me that I don't like him just because he's Trump. That's kind of a silly thing to say. That's like saying that I don't like a tree because it's an oak. I don't care about who he is, I care about what he does. A man's actions are really who he is, and to me, his actions have been terrible. Recently, I saw him berating a reporter, saying that he was fake news because he doesn't like what they report. I used to agree with this behavior because the news isn't reported to us. It gets spun to us with bias to tell us how to think. Him degrading the reporter is like him berating the people for the First Amendment. The First Amendment is what gives us free speech and allows for reporters or journalists to gather and report the news on our behalf. The funny thing is he doesn't need reporters to make him look bad. He does well at that all on his own. He had the audacity to say that he drew a bigger crowd at the Lincoln Memorial than Martin Luther King. Even if he did, where is the respect? The fact that he had to verbalize that he is better than Martin Luther King should speak volumes. Anyway, his first presidency, I felt like he was a normal, regular person, or at least as close to a normal person as we are going to get. When he was president the first time, I felt like he was good for the country. I felt like he was saving us money and trying to do good things. He just sucked whenever he opened his mouth and didn't have a speechwriter. He wasn't and isn't presidential. The first thing I'll say he has done this presidency that I liked is to try and keep men out of women's sports. Bill H.R. 28 is an executive order with the intention of keeping women's sports segregated to women or girls that are so at birth. It also aims to study women that have been adversely affected by having trans women in their sport. Perhaps overkill. The bill is shorter than the SAVE Act or other bills that have been geared towards changing the voting system. I don't care if men want to dress up like women, or if women want to dress up like men. For genetic men to participate in women's sports without their consent is wrong. If the participants all knew beforehand that it was going to be a co-ed sport, then I'm fine with it. This bill only passed the House. It is not a law. Next is removing legislation for DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. The president repealed this legislation that was passed during the previous administration. These are important issues. Having to pass laws for them is redundant. Pushing diversity for diversity's sake is reverse racism. Making sure that there is a representative of each race in every group is wrong. This is something that should happen naturally. The human race is a race. Subcategories within this are irrelevant. Equity. I actually wasn't sure what social equity is. I had to Google it to learn what it meant. So, equity in your home or piece of property is when you have paid off more than the value of the item that is being paid for. Meaning that if something you're paying on is worth $1,000 and you have paid off $100 of it, you have 10% equity in that property. That money or value can be borrowed against for other things. The E in DEI means that everyone has the same access to opportunities that everyone else has. This is an unrealistic ideal in a capitalist system. In order for people to be rich and well off, there has to be people that are poor and have nothing. The Founding Fathers understood that the pursuit of happiness was equal to all, even if the same opportunities were not available to everyone. Inclusion. This is similar to the other two. It means for all individuals to feel welcome, regardless of their religion, race, or any other distinguishing factor. It is nonsense to make laws and policies to force everyone to be nice to everyone else. If you don't have the opportunity to be discriminatory, then we are not truly free. Forcing people to be nice or respectful to one another is a form of fascism and a violation of the First Amendment. We should always be respectful of one another. Treat others the way we wish to be treated. Just because an individual wants to be addressed as a member of a gender they do not belong to is something for the people to decide for themselves, not for the government to tell us how to be. Another policy of the president I support is stopping Wall Street from competing with Main Street. H.R. 7221. This bill aims to stop large corporations from purchasing single-family dwellings. Large businesses have resources that families just starting out don't have, making it harder and more expensive for people to buy a home. As property changes hands, it goes up in value. I used to believe in capitalism. Unfortunately, it is a balance of haves and have-nots. This bill is really short. The two that have been submitted in regards to voting and immigration are much longer. It makes me think that these are just a distraction, that the bills which are longer are more important because they are much more detailed, which tells me more thought went into them. I really don't have anything else that I supported other than these things. Well, maybe the reclassification of marijuana. We shouldn't be listening to the news to tell us how to feel. We should make decisions on our own. The different parties blame each other when things don't go their way. They say Democrats did this or Republicans did that. The reality is that for legislation and laws to get passed, our government, Republican or Democrat, have to work together. Saying that one or the other is responsible is like saying the left side of your body is responsible for something the right side of your body did. If the people choose to continue with the administration the way it is, after everything that has happened, then we deserve what we get. That means the people prefer their party remain in power than choosing to support themselves, and we the people. If the party system divides us more than it serves us, then perhaps there should be no more parties. We should just vote for two candidates instead of one during the primary, and vote for one in the general election. It seems that now the primaries are winding down. Some Republicans are pushing back against the administration. They are worried that they are going to lose the midterms. The Republicans have gone along with the president's agenda until now. They don't deserve to win. Serving the people should be our representatives' first priority. Otherwise, why run for office? Be American first. I put links in the description of the things I talked about.